To get started, I'm going to use 1 large Roma tomato. You could use 2 small ones, a small piece of onion, 1 jalapeno, 1 clove of garlic, and I am leaving the skin on the garlic. You'll want to do that when you go to saute it. You don't want it to burn. Here I have 1 dried guajillo chile that I'm going to remove the stem and seeds from. And be sure to give everything a good rinse. So here in a preheated pan with oil, I'm going to add all of my ingredients, and the dried guajillo chile is going to cook really fast, so don't walk away. It takes less than a minute. So I'm going to remove it, continue the saute, and once everything is done, I'm going to remove it from the pan. So here I'm going to remove the stem from the jalapeno and the skin from the garlic. Now I'm ready to blend and puree this. So everything's in my blender cup. Now I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of chicken bouillon powder and half a cup of water. I'm going to cover it with a lid and puree. You might need a little more water, and you could skip the chicken bouillon powder and just add a little bit of salt. It's really to taste. So when my grandmother would make papas in salsa, she always liked to make it mild, but my grandfather, when he would make it, he'd use serrano peppers, which was so spicy, so we knew not to eat his version. But either way, you can make it however you like. Now that my salsa is pureed and blended, I'm going to set aside until I need it. So I've already prepped my potatoes. Here I have a pound of russet potatoes that I peeled, and I just put them in cold water until I was ready to use them. This prevents them from oxidizing. So now what I'm going to do is dry them well and slice them into rounds. I'm not measuring this, but it's maybe 1/4 inch thick. You don't want them too thin and you don't want them too thick. So here in a preheated pan over medium heat, I'm adding 1½ tablespoons or so of cooking oil, and now I'm going to saute my potatoes. I'm going to add 1/4 teaspoon of fine salt and saute them around 5 minutes on each side over medium heat. You'll want to do this in a single layer in your pan. I'm working with a 10-inch pan, by the way. So I'm going to give them a flip and continue cooking. You'll really want to take your time with this because this does help expedite the cooking process for the potatoes. So once I've sauteed them on each side, I'm going to add my onion, and this is optional. My grandmother would do this sometimes, and actually sometimes she wouldn't even make salsa. She would just add a can of tomato sauce. So once my onions have had a chance to saute, I'm going to add my salsa. Now I'm just going to combine and stir. You'll want to bring it up to a simmer, cover with a lid, lower the heat, and just cook and simmer until they are cooked through and tender for about 10 to 15 minutes. And you might find that you need to add some more water to this. Stewing anything in tomato sauce doesn't cook as easily as you would with more water content, so be sure to add some more water if needed. So at this point it's been 15 minutes and these potatoes are done. They are fork tender and soft. So now it's time to make my eggs and then breakfast. Be sure to subscribe and click that bell notification to get all of my latest videos. I sure would appreciate it. I hope you give this recipe a try. I hope you like it, and thanks for watching.